This New Year's Eve will mark 10 years since I started attending the New Year's Eve vigil in the church. It was a turning point in my life. After we discovered this, we understood that there's no other place I can go where I can be happy. So, it's something different, and I recommend it. Because before, I didn't really use New Year's Eve as a moment of joy. The numbers never added up. We project the following year as a year of success and prosperity, but in reality, we spend the whole year planning the parties with all that excitement. So, it's a moment when we get more emotional, when we want to have a lavish table, as if we couldn't do that all year long. And sometimes we try to cram all of that into 2 weeks, the week of Christmas, New Year's, and we end up getting frustrated with a lot of things. I used to spend more than I made during the whole year, even though I could have bought something for myself. But I was just focused on the end-of-year event, New Year's Eve, the trip. So, I would spend and plan everything in advance. Sometimes we would even start paying for a trip in advance, starting in the middle of the year to pay for a house on the beach, to pay for a trip, and we would end up spending. So, at the end of the year, sometimes I'd already have that debt, but the trip would mask it, and sometimes that debt would carry over into the following year on my credit card. And because of that, I wasn't achieving anything. It was like I was going in circles. My life wasn't moving forward. I couldn't prosper. My mother was already involved in the church, so she always invited us to go, and we always went to please her. But due to a health problem with my son, which also led to my wife becoming depressed, that's how we ended up. We already knew the place, so we said, wow, we need to go there. Then, we arrived at the church and were introduced to faith. We were attended to, guided. We saw that the church had a Sunday school program for my son, and we stayed. God was blessing us, opening our vision, our eyes, and we stayed. God was blessing us, changing that situation. And when the New Year's Eve vigil was presented to us, I said, wow, how so? I'll spend it with the same people I usually spend it with, my family, being with my friends. But I understood that if God is blessing my life, I should be ending that year with Him, in His presence, and starting the next year also in His presence, so that God would truly bless me, bless my family, my home. So, I end the year in God's presence and start the new year with peace, health, prosperity, with the one who can truly bless me. And after that first New Year's Eve vigil that my family and I spent there, I truly had a different year, a new year, a blessed year. I began to see God in everything we were going to do, everything we planned, in my family, in the healing of my son and my wife, giving us direction, blessing our work, guiding us in everything. So, it really was a different year. That's why today, I wouldn't miss spending New Year's Eve at church with my family. Because today we might receive invitations. Sometimes people invite us to travel, to go on outings. And today, I wouldn't give up being in God's presence. Today we're going against the grain of what we used to do. If we planned a family trip, we'd go later. We'd take a trip later. Everyone was coming back. We were going. Today we look for a peaceful place to be, and that's how God has blessed us, because I don't know what awaits me in the future. And if I want to be safe, the secret is to spend New Year's Eve in the presence of God.